everyone. So far we have seen how to manipulate or access HTML and CSS styles using JavaScript document object model. I also want to let you know that there is options for you to add elements to the page and remove elements from the page using JavaScript DOM, which makes it really powerful. So let's see how to do that. I'm going to be creating a button for that. Let's create a button. So I'm going to say create a box. This button is going to create a box. So that's the name of the function. Okay, a box is nothing but a div. So I want to create a div. So let's decide where do we want to put the box. So I want to put the box right next to this box. So that's all I want to do. So I have to find who's the parent of this box so I can add my child to it. So that is where the hierarchy comes in. So let's go and examine this box. This box, this is the parent. So let me just add an ID here so I can access this guy. So I want to get this parent, create a div and attach the baby or the child to this particular div. So let's do document dot get element by ID and then I'm calling it parent. So you need to know the parent and then when you create a child element you can attach. So I want to create a div element document dot create element and then here you say what are you creating. I am creating a div and saving it to the div variable. So now I just say parent dot append child div. Okay, so when I create this div it has nothing in it, so that doesn't make any sense. So let me just add a little bit more jazz to it. So I can say inner text will be box. It'll be called it'll have the text called box in it, and then I just can add some styles to it, right? So I can add the class okay, box. The class name is box. We already had it in our CSS. I'm just adding it. I'm not creating a class. I'm adding an existing class. So here, see, there is a box class that I used already. So I'm just adding it to this guy also. Let's see how that works. Okay, so let's refresh the page. Our button is here. When I click on it, it should create a box. There. Okay, if I click again, another box. Click again, another box. They are exactly the same because we are using the style that way. So if we go into the document hierarchy, into the HTML, for example, if you go to the source and look at the HTML, so the source does not have it. This is the source that we wrote. The dynamically created page has it. So this one, and this one are newly created. This one was existing, right? So under elements, you can see the dynamically created boxes, but it is not in the source because we never added it to the HTML by hand. So this is all happening inside JavaScript. And I think it's pretty cool to do that. So if I want to reiterate, if you are creating a brand new element, you have to make sure you know the parent You create the element, you add all the components that you want for that element, and then you append it. So those are the steps. So let's now add code to remove an element. Okay, again we know the parent. So you can get the last element that was added. And then you can just say so this is basically what you're saying is the last element that was added, you just want to remove it. Okay, so we create a box, we remove a box. Create, remove, remove. Okay, so see the box disappeared. The last element that is there, this guy disappeared too when I keep clicking on it. So let me show you again. So when I remove, third time, fourth time when I remove, this was the last one that was created. So that got removed too. So when you say last element, you are removing essentially what is the last element that is out there in that particular div. So let's see the HTML one more time. So let's go to the elements. So you can see this guy gets removed, this guy gets removed, and then this guy gets removed. So that is the order from the bottom up. It goes because we said last child. First child is this one, last child is this one. Let's try another option. So we just like, sorry, you just pick like random thing from the page and then you just decide to remove that one. Like for example, this guy, H4 header. Let's see how we can remove that guy. So let's first get that element. So what we do is item dot, you get the parent. So you're saying get its parent and then call the remove method and then pass the same item. And that should remove the element. So if I say create a box, H4 disappeared. So you can see the H4 that was right here disappeared because we said get me the element called header and then find its parent and then send the command saying remove the child, which is the same as the item. So that is another way also to remove. I'm not sure how many times we are going to be creating and removing elements, but I think this is a good tool to have in your toolbox. Especially if you're writing something like games and stuff like that, it might come in handy. I hope this was useful. All of the code will be in GitHub for you to take a look, so please feel free to take a look. Bye.